With 17 places to eat, numerous bars, and an observation platform that takes you up and over the ship, Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas is a 168,666 gross ton marvel. Let's start with Deck 2, the lowest accessible passenger deck. Here you'll find the gangway for the tenders for getting on and off the ship, as well as the medical centre which is accessible from the aft elevators and stairs. Moving up to Deck 3, first we have one of the main included restaurants, the Grand. This is the first of 4 included main restaurants which include Chic, Silk and American Icon Grill, all of which we'll look at as the tour moves on. Across from Grand is the other included restaurant for this deck, Chic. If you're wondering why the ship has 4 smaller restaurants rather than the 1 or 2 larger ones with multiple levels that most ships have, is that each restaurant was originally meant to have its own theme, and you choose which restaurant you wanted to eat at a concept called dynamic dining. Moving up the deck and we have the very long casino, Casino Royale. There are stairs that go to Deck 4, just at the entrance if you don't want to go to the elevators that are just outside of both entrances. It offers a variety of slot machines or pokies if you will, as well as other different table games including roulette, 3-card poker and blackjack, as well as others. I've put a link in the description for a video where I walk all the way through the casino from the music hall, just so you can see how big the casino is. The casino also moves into the lower level of the music hall, a music themed bar that has its own themed drinks. Here they host trivias as well as other games. Moving on to Deck 4 and at the aft, and we have the next 2 included restaurants, starting with Silk. And now we have the last of the included main restaurants, American Icon Grill. If you've been on the ship, tell us which dining rooms you were assigned to. I was in American Icon Grill. Moving ahead is Bolero's, a Latin themed bar. Here is where you'll find that they host the art auctions. Next is for the Crown and Anchor members, the Loyalty Desk. Come here for any inquiries about Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor loyalty program. Over on Starboard is Guest Services. Come here for anything you need to know about the cruise. Next is the first of the numerous shops on board Kate Spade, New York. And then we have on Portside, Port Merchants. Here they sell duty-free alcohol as well as supplies that you need for the cruise if you haven't brought them on board before the cruise. Before we continue, let's have a little look around the Royal Esplanade, including the stairs that go down to the Casino Royale as well as Deck 5. If you want to see the whole of the Royal Esplanade, I'll leave a link in the description for a video where I walk the whole of it. On Starboard is La Patisserie, a cafe selling Starbucks coffees as well as other drinks and specialty cakes. Then across we have the collection, selling the likes of handbags and backpacks. Just next door and we have Cafe Promenade, which has the complimentary coffee and cakes, which are also available from the Windjammer. Next is Sorrento's Royal Caribbean's complimentary pizza restaurant. You can order by the slice, but you can get as many slices as you wish. Across is Regalia Fine Jewellery if you want to find something special. Now between Sorrento's and Regalia is Amber and Oak, an English themed pub. The screens play sports if you don't want to miss the game. They also have musical acts which can be heard all around the Royal Esplanade. Moving over to Portside, we have the Trunk Show. If you need a timepiece, this is the place for it. We then have Swarovski Jewelers if you need something special. And just next door is Royal's own jewellery shop, Bling. Here you can collect the daily charms. Moving up is Prince and Green, which is for the clothing souvenirs which you can purchase on the cruise. If you want perfumes or moisturizers, the ship also has Body and Beauty. Across we have Sundials. This is where you can buy souvenirs from the ship, including the ship models. And now we have the second level of the music hall. Here we can oversee the lower level. The level has pool tables and televisor sports. Just outside both the music hall and the Royal Theatre is the Crown Lounge. Crown and Anchor members on Diamond level or above. And finishing off this level is the lower level of the Royal Theatre. Come here for the nightly main shows as well as movies or other events. Let's move back to the after the ship and up to Deck 5. Here you'll find the lower level of 270. Screens and stage can move, giving this a life of its own rather than just being a secondary theatre. Here Here you'll find things such as a silent disco, bingo, and Spectre's Cabaret, as well as other shows. If you have mobility issues and wish to get to the second level on deck 6, there is an elevator at the back in the middle. Moving up is Cafe 270, an included cafe which is open for breakfast and lunch. It has sandwiches as well as other snacks. A personal favourite was the scones and berries. If you're wanting to do another cruise and want to book on the ship, or you're after information about future cruises, then we have Next Cruise. Here you might find a good deal that you might not find anywhere else. And now we have the art gallery from Park West. Here you can find some of the works of art that are available at the art auctions. Next is Vintage's Wine Bar. Come here for the expansive wine list as well as tappers. We're now in the Via. This area is surrounded by Vintages, Levian, and Jamie's Italian. In the middle is a very interesting art piece. Over on starboard is Levian. This is a luxurious shop offering jewellery. Over on port side is Jamie's Italian, a specialty restaurant from chef Jamie Oliver serving Italian-style dishes. It's open for both lunch and dinner. If you don't want to sit inside, there is an outside seating area as well. Next to Levian is Swiss Crown. If you're after a Rolex, you have the option to buy one here. Just past the Via and you can see the glass elevators, which go all the way up to the top. If you're lucky, you might just have a musical surprise inside. Moving up past the glass elevators and on port side, we have the Shore Excursions desk. If you want to know anything about the ports that are coming up, as well as any of the shore excursions that are on offer, there are also tablets for which you can browse and book shore excursions. Over on port side is Picture This, the ship's professional photography studio. Moving up and we have Wonderland, an unusual restaurant experience. theme of the restaurant is Alice in Wonderland, and as such, some of the elements are not your average restaurant experience. And now a favourite of mine, the Bionic Bar. Any drinks you order here are made by robots. You must be of legal drinking age to order anything, even non-alcoholic drinks. Simply order a drink on the tablet, wait for it to be made, then scan your CPass card for the drink to be released. If you get lost, there is usually a member of staff that can help. Just outside and surrounding this area is the open area looking down onto Deck 4 of the Royal Esplanade. Just ahead is the Japanese specialty restaurant Izumi. This restaurant has the likes of sushi with a la carte pricing. Just ahead of Izumi is the Schooner Bar. The bar is nautical themed, which includes the ship's wheel near the elevators. Here you'll find the likes of trivia being played as well as live music. Just to the right of the ship's wheel and you'll find Chop's Grill, Royal Specialty Steakhouse, offering not only steaks but chicken and seafood as well. In here you'll also find the chef's table experience. Moving up and over to port side is the Focus Photo Gallery. Here you can view and order any of the photos that the photographers have taken on board, as well as buy the likes of GoPros. And lastly for this deck is the second level of the Royal Theatre. If you want to see all of Deck 5, I'll leave a link in the description for a video where I walk the whole deck, just so you can see how big it is. On this deck we also have access to the outside of the deck. Here you'll find a smoking area as well as the outside seating area for Jamie's Italian. The area also has some pretty quiet areas to sit and relax so you can watch the waves. Now back to the aft of the ship and onto Deck 6 with the second level of 270. On port side is the library. Here you can find books, board games, as well as the internet cafe. If you're after a quiet area while events are on in 270, this area doesn't do much to soften the sound of the noise when those events are on. Over on starboard is a little area called the workshop. It has tables for board games and other things. The rest of the deck, as well as Decks 7, 8, 9 and 10 are all just passenger cabins, so let's move on to Deck 11. Most of Deck 11 is also passenger cabins, but it also has a lower level of Adventure Ocean. Here you'll find Royal Tots for ages 18 to 36 months and Aquanauts for ages 3 to 5. Deck 12 is also mostly passenger cabins, but at the aft we have the concierge desk for suite guests. At the forward is the next level of Adventure Ocean. Next we have Deck 13. At the aft of the deck is the Conference Center, which is divided into 4 rooms: Serenade, Brilliance, Radiance, and I think it's supposed to be Jewel, but it's spelled here Dew. On the deck plans you'll also find the Solarium on Deck 13, but unfortunately it only seems to be a crew entrance. Moving up to Deck 14, and at the aft we have Royal Caribbean's buffet, the Windjammer. It's open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It offers everything from roast to chicken parmigiana to vegetarian, as well as having plenty of desserts. The variety is vast enough that I believe you'll be hard up to find something to eat unless you're extremely picky. Besides the food stations, they also have a Starbucks coffee at the starboard entrance, if the included coffee doesn't do it for you. See the link in the description to see a full unedited walk of the Windjammer if you want to see the whole thing. If you go all the way back to the back of this area, there are tables and chairs with a view of the wake of the ocean if you want a nice view. Just outside on starboard we have Coastal Kitchen, the restaurant for those guests staying in suites. Then over on port side we have the living room. This is the meet-up area for those aged 12 to 17. Next to the living room is a set of glass stairs which look directly down with the glassed elevators. And now outside on starboard we have fish and chips. On our most recent sailing it was complimentary except for the lobster tail basket. Personal favourite was the chicken fingers and chips. Just a little bit ahead is Splashaway Bay, a little water park for the younger kids. Here they also have another area for the babies. We then have the main outside pool and deck area. Here you can find not only the pool, but also the hot tubs and big screen. Just a word of warning, The deck in this area gets hot in the sun, so either move to the pool quickly or make sure you're wearing something on your feet. Next is a sky bar, located close to the main pool and hot tubs, the perfect location to get a drink on deck. On port side is the smoking area as well. Moving back to starboard, and we have Sprinkles, the ice cream station. Available between 11 AM and 8 PM, there are 3 flavours to choose from: vanilla, chocolate and choc vanilla. Let's move into the covered area, and first we have the pool bar. Here you can enjoy a drink while being close to the indoor pool. With the pool bar, we also have the indoor pool. Perfect for those that want to swim but don't want to be outside in the sun. Also in this area you'll find more hot tubs. Over on port side, and we have Sea Trek. Here you can buy the likes of snorkels, GoPros and other things for when you're trekking in port. Back over on starboard, and we have the towel station. If you've borrowed a towel for the pool or to take onto shore, you can return it here if they don't have any other makeshift stations set up. Moving up and inside is a solarium bistro. A smaller buffet compared to the Windjammer, which also makes it much quieter and not as well known, especially at the beginning of the voyage. At night, it also turns into another restaurant. While located close to the adults only solarium, children are permitted to eat here provided they come through the inside entrance and not through the solarium. It's a good option if you're in this part of the ship. And lastly for this deck, we have the adults only area, the solarium for those aged 18 and over. If coming from starboard, the entrance is just after this towel station with lounges and day beds situated along the window until we reach the main area. During sea days, this area is very popular, which is understandable as the area is nice and peaceful with plenty of seating. On starboard, there is a statue that reminds me of the gummy Venus de Milo from The Simpsons. This area has infinity pools and hot tubs, which do live up to the hot name. On both starboard and port side, at the front you can access these viewing wings to see the outside of the ship. Most of the time I went out there were not very many people, if any, even if the solarium was busy. I recommend coming out here at night for a fantastic view of the lights of the ship. The solarium also has a sunshine bar if you're after a drink. There's a full walking tour of the solarium on the channel. I've left a link in the description if you want to see it. Let's move up to deck 15. This deck is surrounded by the jogging track. If you're feeling energetic and want a view, this is the deck for it. If you want to know how far you've walked or jogged, there are a few signs telling you the distance. I also have a full walking video of the jogging track. The link is in the description if you want to see it. Now at the aft of this deck is the iFly reception. We'll see the iFly when we move on to deck 16. For those that don't want much of an adrenaline rush, on starboard they have shuffleboard. But if you do want something a little more extreme and heights are your thing, why not tackle the rock climbing wall? On each of the Quantum class ships, each has a large statue of an animal. The Ovation of the Seas is no different with the panda bears. Over on port side, you'll notice the front of this van sticking out. If you move inside, you'll notice that it's connected to this complimentary Seaplex doghouse, serving hot dogs and a few other things. Located with the Seaplex doghouse is the Seaplex. Here you'll find different activities during the day, everything from dodging cars to basketball and pickleball, as well as others. A bit forward and on port side is Fuel, which is mostly a teen disco area, but they also have activities here for families. Moving over to starboard, and we have the arcade, which has different games and skill testers, all of which are paid by tapping your SeaPass card. Moving outside again, and we can see the opening that looks down and over at the pool onto deck 14. We then have the North Star bar. Come here if you need a drink to calm your nerves if you're going to use the North Star. Of course, it's connected to the entrance of the North Star. This takes you 100 meters or 328 feet into the air. Depending if the ship is out to sea or if it's in port, it will lean over the side of the ship. And also, depending on your location, there might be a fee. Moving back inside, and we have the viewing area for the inside pool. And lastly, for this deck, we have the Vitality at Sea Spa. Come here for spa treatments as well as likes of manicures, pedicures, and massages. And now for the top deck, deck 16. And at the aft, we have the Flow Rider, surf and bodyboarding simulator. Just above the Flow Rider is the Ripcord by iFlight, a simulated skydive. Moving ahead, and we have the second level of the Seaplex. Here we have the activities like Xboxes, air hockey, and table tennis. At the front of the deck is the Vitality at Sea Fitness Center, or the gym. It has a variety of exercise equipment as well as weights. Classes are also available at certain times. Now that we've seen the ship and everything it has to offer, check out this video to see what I thought were some of the good and some of the bad parts of cruising on this ship.